Hello everyone, it is me, Conway Fitzgerald. Before I start the show, I just wanted to ask everyone, the cheesy thing, but it's important. If you would just click the like button and the subscribe buttons. This production is completely free, and it's brand new, original sci-fi, and it has a full cast of super talented actors from all over the world who have donated their time and energies to make this for you so you could enjoy it for free. So just help us with the algorithm. That's all that's being asked here. So, and my question for all of you is, after watching it perhaps, I'm curious, if you had the opportunity yourself to go to the Waddington Institute, would you do it? And if so, what age would you prefer to be? Let me know in the comments and maybe have your own conversations about this science, which is real. Now, on with the show.
And we're back here on TKT, your ticket for all things sports. A lot going on. Baseball season fast approaches. NFL draft talk has already started. A lot to cover. But it is Tuesday, and we are true to our fans.
How's that, Keith?
Whatever news may break, we will announce it accordingly. But now, we must return, redescend, if you will, into the world of what-ifs in our ongoing Tuesday series, Who Could Have Been the Greatest?
Who, would, shoulda, coulda been of all time? NFL edition.
Not who is or who was, but who could have been the greatest.
That's right, Ricky. We get to alter fate, change the narrative completely, and speculate on the greatest could-have-beens of all time, based upon situations, coaching, etc. We're going to take your calls on the subject, but before we do, Ricky and I would like to welcome a very special guest to the studio this morning. That's right. Joining us here in studio to discuss this very topic, in the flesh, is truly one of the greatest defensive linemen of all time. A ticket and a show favorite, Mr. Calvin Reed.
What's up, Cincinnati? Hey, good to be with you fellas today. And I must say, I was intrigued to discuss this list with you because you do ask who could have been, which...
It ups the ante a bit.
Exactly. Makes it a bit more interesting than the usual arguments. I heard the discussion about the quarterback position you two had with the fans, and it was intriguing, I must say. But the only thing I felt was missing was the perspective of a player.
And we are delighted to have that added aspect today, with a 5-time Pro Bowler on the defensive line, a stellar 10-year career, a guy who's been in the trenches. Thanks again, Calvin, for joining us.
Hey, good to be here.
Today we're moving on to the running back position. So this includes running, receiving, blocking. We're assessing their total game.
And not just the stats, but the pure dominance they displayed. 4 times, shall we say.
Then allow me to fire the first arrow. Not to be too much of a homer.
Oh, no, you are not going there.
Oh, I am. I know how much you despise this fact, the franchise tragedy that was our beloved Bengals selecting R.J. Lewis #1 overall.
That disqualifies him already. Guy played, 3.5 seasons?
But again, this topic is, who could have been the greatest? Now, R.J., God bless him, we wish him well. But he was certainly a bust by our franchise standards. And I agree, you never draft a running back #1 overall. I don't care how good you think he is.
Never. I remember all the hype coming in. This guy is going to reshape the position, reset the market. No! It all comes down to, can you carry the rock for me 25 plus times a game for 16, now 17 games? He proved, time and time again, that he just couldn't do that.
But there were moments.
Hey, look, man, I played against the dude. There was no hype about it. RJ had the best first step I've ever seen. Leans one way, goes the other. Damn, you try tackling that guy.
He was very elusive for a bigger back.
Nah, elusive doesn't cover it. Because he could run you over on the very next play, doesn't matter how big you are, he has that kind of power. I personally, and I'm not saying this as a homer or someone who eventually joined the organization, I'm saying it as someone who actually had to bring that man to the ground on Sunday. Let me tell you, bro, that was not easy. In fact, I can think of no other back, then or now, that was such a threat to run and receive with speed and power like that.
See, I thought we would start off with Barry Sanders, or maybe some other players that showed that kind of greatness for a semblance of a career.
Well, we never won anything with him, sure. But the guy was averaging 150 to 200 yards from scrimmage per game. I mean, on a very bad team.
But he was a hurt player. He had no staying power. Can we move on, please? We cannot mention the truly greats without first mentioning Walter Payton and Emmitt Smith.
Goddamn bullshit. I was the greatest.
How quickly it seems. A young life filled with promise and purpose could be curtailed into an older life filled with only constant pain and regret. Moments whisk past us, most of which seem insignificant, yet some stay with us forever. In the case of R.J. Lewis, his decision to play through injury cost him his chance at true greatness. Now, the roar of cheering stadiums has been reduced to silent echoes of what could have been. The Modern Immortals by Conway Fitzgerald. Starring Nikki Brown, Marcus Ivey, Rhiannon McAfee, Steve Fisher, Logan Smith, J.V. Torres, DERONTE West, Paul RBC, Julia Eve, Jennifer Tissot, Jeff Tullen, Karen Corrado, Perdita Lawton, Ludwig Buchmeier, Kenneth Davis Jr., J.B. Brown, Steve Katz, David Robbins, Jeff Moon, Carson Thayer, Daniel Petru, and Conway Fitzgerald.
Oh, hello, Mr. Lewis. Welcome back. Please have a seat. Dr. Frank will be with you shortly.
Mommy, who's that?
I don't know, honey. I was going to ask you.
Well, the synthetic meniscus treatments have had mixed results. The knee lining is showing some improvement, a little less swelling, but you still claim to be in a lot of pain.
I don't claim to be. It hurts, Doc. A lot. Every step. I thought the point of this treatment was to relieve the pain.
Oh, I understand, Mr. Lewis. The knees are a tricky joint to treat, particularly as it relates to sustaining multiple injuries.
Is there anything else I can do? I don't want to just take more damn pills.
Well, now that you've mentioned it, there is a study taking place that is actively looking for volunteers.
What kind of study?
It's cutting-edge genetic medicine, still in the human testing stage. But there is someone I know who's deeply involved in the project who claims the treatment may be able to assist in the regeneration of muscle, ligaments, and even bone density on a cellular level.
I'm listening. Where is this doctor?
He's in Cambridge.
Oh, you mean up at Harvard?
No, the research facility is located in the city of Cambridge, north of London, in England. This is a cellular regeneration procedure that has yet to be okayed for testing on human beings here in the United States. It's highly experimental. But considering who you are and your current state of suffering, you may just be the type of candidate they're looking for this trial.
Later that evening, Camille Lewis, RJ's wife of 24 years, returned home from her long day of work. She entered the kitchen in her maroon nurse's scrubs, holding 2 bags of groceries. She then switched on the light.
Oh, there you are. Why are you sitting in the dark?
I was just thinking.
About what? What did Dr. Frank say? Did you mention the pinching sensation?
Yeah, he knows. My knees do nothing but hurt. He can only prescribe more pills.
Oh, Rodney. I don't want to see you in pain like this. There's got to be some other treatment, something we can do.
But Dr. Frank says there is. It's an experimental treatment.
I don't like the sound of that.
I know. My first thought was, oh, sure, let's test this out on the black guy and see if it works.
Baby, you just need to slow down. Stay off your feet more. Allow the current treatment to finish healing you. You're not 20 years old anymore.
Yeah, I looked online. I did a little research about this treatment. It's revolutionary. I mean, real cutting-edge genetic science. These doctors and researchers are all totally legit. The very top of their field.
Do you want to look into it? I mean, where would we need to go?
It would be in Cambridge, near London, in England. It might take 3 to 6 months, I'm told, if I'm selected. The study says they will sponsor my stay and all of my treatment.
They sponsor? Meaning they'd cover all the costs? Oh, that sounds exciting.
But I don't want to leave you here, working all day while I'm out there missing the hell out of you.
Rodney James Lewis was drafted first overall in the NFL draft, the last time a running back was ever selected number 1. He was the Heisman Trophy winning star of the Ohio State Buckeyes championship team. RJ's life, up to then, was an ongoing parade of victories, projecting a career filled with only promise and so many records to be broken. Yet that greatness was stunted, like wings clipped of an eagle mid-flight by the plight of physical injury. Could one invitation, one experiment in modern science alter the course of his destiny? Could it rekindle the hope of a life filled with success? Presented with this choice, a chance for 2 lifetimes, could he possibly say no?
We'd like to welcome you all to Heathrow International Airport. The current time is 3:51 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. We have cloudy skies with some drizzle, and our current temperature is 10 degrees.
10 degrees? Shouldn't it be snowing out there?
10 degrees centigrade.
That's about 50 degrees Fahrenheit. I know. It took me some getting used to.
Ah, Mr. Lewis, you've arrived. Excellent. Welcome to the UK. How was your flight, sir?
Well, I haven't been on a plane in quite a while. It's my knees.
Of course. Please, allow us to get those for you. And here, please, have a seat. Allow us to take you the rest of the way there.
It was his knees, indeed, that he had come to England to repair. RJ completed all of the tests. His plasma reacted perfectly to the replacement cellular mitochondria. The cell regeneration occurred without any mutations. In the dish, the only thing separating him from a brand new body was his consent.
Mr. Lewis, on behalf of the Board of Governors of the Waddington Institute, the Arthur Winthrop Foundation, and Iogen Genetic Research Incorporated, we'd like to offer you a sponsored place on our clinical trials. Your labs came back with outstanding results. You're still young enough to make any misoccurrences highly unlikely.
What do you mean, misoccurrences?
What that means, Mr. Lewis, is the introduction of mutation to the cell pool that is being regenerated. Your labs were free from many signs of this. Not one.
So what could that mean? I grow a third knee?
Mr. Lewis, to be clear, this procedure will not be limited to your knees. This process will, and must, affect your entire body. What we are offering to you, and 11 others, our first human test cases, is the full restoration of your physical body to its peak mature state.
I don't understand. Why me? Why have you chosen to test this out on me?
Simply put, Mr. Lewis, it is because you are a famous American athlete. The perfect example of the efficacy of this science for the United States public, media, and government to witness and consume. You, sir, could pave the way for this scientific miracle to reach millions of others who suffer the pain and challenge of lingering injuries, fatal illnesses, and old age.
So you're saying this procedure will actually make me physically younger again?
Precisely, Mr. Lewis. In fact, our team has suggested a genetically mapped target age of 21 years old for you, at the peak of your physical prowess, prior to all of the many injuries of your professional athletic career. You, Mr. Lewis, will usher in a new world of medicine for humankind. The ability to cure any disease and to defy death itself. That is, if you agree to receive the procedure.
Yeah, they said my labs all came back positive, so I've been offered the treatment.
Oh, that's incredible news. I mean, have you decided whether or not you want to do it?
Well, the catch is, I'm gonna have to be here. At least 3 extra months under lock and key to undo some surgeries, like the synthetic meniscuses. Yeah, they're gonna have to take them out. And that ankle plate I have, you know, the one that always caused me to get searched at the airport. Yeah, that one too. They tell me those surgeries will only get in the way of the genetic treatment.
Oh, no. Have you spoken to Dr. Frank about that? And we should probably call Attorney Dennis about the insurance. And, you know, all the legal aspects of all this. I still have so many questions.
Yes, my love. I've already spoken to Chad Dennis again, and He's going to read over all the legal paperwork and make sure we don't get stuck with any of bills. The Waddington Institute did also promise to cover any of our associated legal expenses.
Have you asked them when and if I can visit you? I mean, I know we can't really afford that now. But
I did ask. You see, Camille, the problem is they need me to commit fully to focusing on this treatment. They don't allow visitors at all. None. They say they could compromise the study. We talked about this.
Yeah, I know, but 3 more months? Baby, I already miss you so much.
I miss you too, baby. You have no idea how much I miss you.
Well, how do you feel about going through with this? Do you think this is the right way forward?
You know, Cam, I really do. I really think this is a second chance for me, for us, that I just think I really can't pass this up.
That's my man. Still got his winning ways. Didn't I tell you? No one can keep you down. We would find the way.
Within his sprawling laboratory of testing devices and physical therapy stations, Dr. Albrecht van der Vloes, the head of physical trials, explained the procedure to RJ.
How are we feeling today, Mr. Lewis? Any adverse reactions to the medication?
Nah, I feel all right.
You may start to feel nervous, like you have a lot of energy to burn. That is good. We will utilize that energy to rebuild muscle through an intense regimen of rigorous exercise. It will be painful at first, but as the treatment takes, you will likely grow to enjoy it immensely.
Yeah, look, I'm no stranger to the weight room, Dr. van der Vloes. Looking forward to begin the training.
Indeed. Indeed you are, Mr. Lewis. As I said, the perfect candidate.
6 months later. And I was telling Ron and Emily that you'll be back on Tuesday. Yeah, they asked. But I told them we would likely get together over the weekend. You know, let you get settled. But Danny says he'll be here to see you when you get home on Tuesday. So you don't need a ride?
Nah, they're paying for the limousine service from the airport, so we might as well use it. Let them take me all the way home.
Oh, Rodney, you sound so healthy and happy. I can't wait to see you and your brand new knees. I can't believe they won't even allow us to Zoom.
You know, it's the internet firewall here, all this top secret stuff. Man, we lucky we can even speak on the phone about it. Listen, I can't wait to see you. Show you the new me.
Is that it? Oh, sweet Jesus, he's home. Danny, your father is home.
After over 6 months of waiting, Camille Lewis and her 26-year-old son, Danny, gathered at the front door to greet RJ as the tinted windows of his limousine rolled up their modest driveway. RJ stepped out of the limousine without effort, or his ubiquitous, painful grunts. As RJ stepped closer, Camille felt as if she was seeing a ghost, a revenant of a lifetime gone by. Camille stepped closer to RJ slowly to find him exactly as he was when she married him, right after they both graduated OSU.
My God. Rodney? Is that really you?
It's me, baby. Didn't I tell you? It's a miracle. They made my whole body young again.
Dad? I don't understand. What?
To say RJ's transformation was a miracle would be accurate to some, but perhaps a tragedy for others. The family of 3 gathered silently in the living room.
But what does this mean for us? For our family?
Yeah, Dad, I don't know what to say. I mean, you went there for a knee surgery and then came back younger than me?
This science is going to be available to everyone. The Waddington Institute wanted to prove it to America. I am the proof.
But Rodney, you're now physically younger than our own son. I don't understand how...
Hey, come on now. It's still me, baby. I haven't forgotten anything. In fact, I'm remembering details of so many things we did together, conversations we had that I had completely forgotten. Let me show the world what I can do again. In the NFL, in today's league, I'll win a major contract and then we can afford for you to join me, Cammy. You can quit working on your feet all day. Hell, we can do this together. We can both be this young again.
But I don't want that.
Outside the Bengals training facility.
How you doing, old timer?
Who's that?
Oh, just me. A veritable bolt of lightning.
My God! R.J. Lewis? Is that really you? What did you do? You look incredible.
I know. Hey, I'm coming back. I wanted you to be the first to know.
You're joining the training staff? Running backs coach? What happened?
Nah, man. I'm coming back.
Breaking news! This just into the ticket. It appears all the rumors were true.
You can't be serious.
The Cincinnati Bengals, in their desperation for any kind of answer on offense, have tendered an offer to 55-year-old R.J. Lewis.
What? Is this April 1st? I mean, how is this even possible?
You probably started this. No, really. This is all your fault. It is reported that the Bengals will sign Lewis to a 2-year deal, which includes a team 3rd-year option for up to $26 million with incentives. And get this, $10 million fully guaranteed.
This is a joke. Look, I apologize to the whole Lewis family for saying he was a bust, and he could have been the greatest. I didn't mean he had to come back and try to prove it.
But RJ did have to come back to prove it. His mid-season free agency signing shocked the sports world. After the signing, the Waddington Institute made their own press statements about the efficacy of their soon-to-be-proven Phantom of Youth.
The success of this human trial is ushering in a new age of genetic science to the world. Never again will humankind be forced to live in pain or in fear of imminent death. What this science we have now shared with the world brings is the answer to any medical condition. It is modern immortality.
What is it?
What is what?
You're huffing again. That means you're disappointed and you want to talk about it but don't want to ask. So, what is it?
Remember that new girl I was seeing? Dee Dee?
Aw, no. Did the wizard dancer break your heart? Already? Poor baby.
No, see, that's her. Texting me right now. She wants to see me. But now Murph says I have to go to Cincinnati this weekend to cover the Lewis story. Why am I getting demoted to do sports? I thought coming here I had reached the pinnacle of journalism. The next Bob Woodward. Now I feel like an intern at Barstool.
What Lewis story?
Oh, some old guy has come out of retirement after getting some radical anti-aging treatment.
Oh, you mean Tom Brady's coming back?
No. This is a 55-year-old running back. You didn't hear about this?
No. 55? In the NFL? That must be some serious anti-aging.
It's genetic. What's called senolytic cellular treatment. They remove dying cells from the body and replace them with new young ones.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of that.
Well, this guy Lewis was among the first human testing class in the UK. They say his body is 20 again, and he's actually signed a multi-million-dollar deal with the Bengals. Here, check this out.
The success of this human trial is ushering in a new age of genetic science to the world. Never again will humankind be forced to live in pain or in fear of imminent death. What this science we have now shared with the world brings is the answer to any medical condition. It is modern immortality.
Modern immortality? Do you mind if I tag along?
You want to join me in Cincinnati? Sure, I guess. Just clear it with Murph.
Is this real? I mean, I've heard about this, that this was possible with, like, mice and stuff. But they're actually doing this on people now? Michael, this is big.
Welcome one, welcome all, forevermore, the Modern Immortals. Several NFL teams filed grievances with the league over the legality of utilizing this kind of sports medicine to elongate a player's career. Yet, as a completely new science, there was no rule preventing RJ's re-entry to the NFL based on MDCR, mitoDNA cellular reparation. Though RJ was 55, he was in the best shape of his life and was ready to suit up the following Sunday. The Bengals had suffered many injuries to key skill position players, and they were on a 4-game losing streak. Yet, one thing they did have was a good and healthy offensive line. The Bengals simplified their playbook. Just give RJ the rock and let him roll.
With that penalty, the Bengals will start their first drive from their own 13-yard line. And entering the huddle right out of the gate is number 34, the return of the brand new R.J. Lewis. Let's kick the tires.
RJ had flashes of brilliance in his short career, and at age 55, thanks to modern medicine, is set to make his return.
Bengals wasting no time with a handoff to Lewis, who is wrapped up at the 15. No, he breaks free of the tackle and makes a move. McKendry can't bring him down. One man to beat.
Oh my goodness, are you kidding me?
30, 20, 10, and he's in for the touchdown. 87 yards from scrimmage on his first carry in nearly 30 years. Lightning Lewis is back. Don, you cannot make this up.
It sure does seem like a fairy tale to me, Gary, but this is for real. Lewis showing that explosive speed and agility we thought was just a distant memory from an 80s highlight reel.
I told all of you, you can't take me down. I'm the greatest there ever was. No one can ever come close. Now you see.
But the talent of RJ Lewis was no longer left to the realm of fading memories and aged videotape. RJ carried the ball 23 times for 196 yards, with an additional 46 yards receiving and 3 touchdowns, leading the Bengals to their first victory in over a month.
RJ, now that you've proven out this science, that it can bring retired players back, do you think maybe you guys should have your own league?
Hey, I've always felt that way, even when I first entered the league. Let's be clear, this science didn't make me more than what I am. It simply restored the body God gave me, and the player I always have been, to my fullest potential. I am the true RJ Lewis, not some artificial body that you believe that I am.
RJ, how long do you see yourself playing for?
Like, what happens if you get hurt again? Do you go back to the repair shop in England?
My plan is to play long enough to put food on the table at home and to show all of you who truly was the greatest back of all time. I intend to leave no doubt about that question.
Do you think any other players will follow your footsteps and re-enter the league? Could we soon be seeing the return of Tom Brady and Barry Sanders?
Hey, if they want to, that's their choice. I was presented with this treatment to alleviate the pain in my knees. And as you can see, I am now fully recovered. And yes, I intend to play, and I intend to win.
RJ, Cassidy Petersen with the Washington Post.
What? The Post?
How does your wife and family feel about this transformation? How are they taking it?
Oh, come on now.
Look, that's my family's business. I'm not going to answer that here. No further questions.
Yeah. That's enough.
Maybe a warm-up question was in order?
This was my original jersey from back in '92. Can you sign it for me? You're always the greatest, RJ. So amazing to see you back, man.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
RJ! Can you sign my ball?
RJ. Call me.
Ma'am. Don't touch the players, okay? We've been through this with you.
Hey, thanks, everyone. We'll be back in 2 weeks. On to Dallas.
RJ reached into his pocket and found a folded slip of paper with the name Stacy, an Instagram handle, and a phone number written on it. He intended to crumple it up and throw it out the window when he was distracted.
How'd you like that shit, Peter? What'd I say, man? What did I say?
Who's the greatest ever? This guy! Holy freaking moly, what a performance! Lightning is back! Oh, RJ, the calls have been non-stop, my friend. Everyone wants a piece of this. They all want a piece of you.
Oh, man, that's great news, Peter. Let's look at all those offers. We're doing this shit right this time. Highest bidders to the front of the line.
Well, that's why you hired the best goddamn agent in sports, Lightning. You know you can count on me. Counting that money. Lots and lots of it, baby. Yeah.
Did you see the game?
No, I didn't. Did you win?
Did I win? Baby, we all won. All of us. Peter Andrews tells me the offers are flooding in. We've done it. Look, wait until you feel what I'm feeling. Remember the energy? Remember the...
Please, Rodney. Stop. I can't. This is all so overwhelming.
What's going on with you? Why are you being like this? I thought you'd be happy for me.
I am happy. For you. But not for us. Rodney, I just don't know what to say. Why didn't you tell me they were doing this to you?
Oh, I see. So now that your man has proven he can't be held down, so now you feel like I don't love you anymore? Baby, you are mine, and you're coming with me back to that place. Look, we've got the money now. And besides, they owe me.
Stop. Please, I just can't. I don't want this. I don't want to go there. I don't want what you want.
All right. We'll be that way.
RJ undressed himself, revealing his perfectly sculpted body. It was just as Camille remembered back in 1989. He was an Adonis of physical masculinity, a vision brought back to reality from the cherished memories of her youth. She remembered RJ in that time. She loved him, though she was always unsure of him. He was traveling constantly. Everywhere he went, he was heaped with praise and adulation, with women throwing themselves at him. Camille reached down to pick up the pants RJ had left on the floor. She heard a rustling in the front pocket. Camille took out the crumpled piece of paper and read the note.
Ooh, what you cooking there? Might I have a taste? No one makes jambalaya like you, baby. You ought to bottle that. No, in fact, we gonna do that. Mama jambalaya. Let's patent that shit right now. Oh, you should have seen your man move today, baby. No one could touch me out there. I averaged over 8 yards a carry.
RJ demonstrated his spin move before he took his seat at the table. He could see Camille was not interested in his story. Camille placed the bowl of hot jambalaya down before RJ and then dropped a spoon and the crumbled note beside it.
Maybe you should call Stacy. I'm sure she'd love to hear you brag about yourself.
What's this? Really? You can't be serious. Baby, some bimbo stuck this in my pocket, and then Peter Andrews called right after. You don't think...
What's going to happen to us, Rodney? This is what I have to look forward to. We were supposed to grow old together. That's what married couples do. If I can't be the girl you married, the 21-year-old me again, all I can ever be is your mama. I don't want that either.
What are you talking about, baby? I would never.
Never.
The case of R.J. Lewis was a complete success by all accounts, save those of his own family. The Waddington Institute had proven their science to America. No one could question the results as R.J. went on to lead the NFL in rushing, despite having missed the first 5 games of the regular season. RJ had been given back his dream, a second chance to begin again on his quest for greatness. But at what cost? By joining a very short list of Modern Immortals, RJ had now crossed a line that would keep him forever apart from the love of his life, his family and friends. Could he ever find love like Camille's again? Or had he now traded in his own soul for a deal to defeat death?